Give me a second, guys, just while I share this around. Just for a moment. So yes guys, welcome to Friday night, and yes, that is right, it is Friday. Where has the week gone? It has gone majorly quick, and yes, it is the one and only Hoppers in the commentary box for the Eldar Sim VW Cup, sponsored by Chell, Lawman, Motorsport, and yes, it is the final round of the VW Supercars, and it is going to be a nail-biting finish to what has been a stellar season. Obviously, last week at Largo I missed, unfortunately, due to personal issues ongoing, but the title here at Track and Trails Seaside for the unforgiving Seaside circuit here in Croatia, and yes, it is probably going to be the last one on GT Sport on a Friday until we head to, obviously, Pastures New for Gran Turismo 7. That is just literally released today, but we do have a very stellar end to the season. It has been close as you like. I'm just going to go through exactly the points, and also a lot of interest to see exactly what is happening throughout the VW Supercars. It seems to be quite tense at the top of the table. There's only 4 points in it between, obviously, Dean Atkinson and of course Panos Varganis for the title. It could be Dean's first chance at the crack of the title. He's currently on screen. He's actually, I'm just checking the table now, just as we speak. Dean's on 273 with Panos on 269. Jamie Hillman has an outside chance of 19 points. He's there in third. He's on 254, so he's got an outside chance to get into the top two, preferably got a chance of getting into the top two, maybe even take the title. He's 19 points behind, but what he's got to do for that, he's got, obviously, he's 19 points, so if he wins race 1, he potentially could get into the race lead, the championship lead, but it is a lot to work out. And obviously, you know, Ismail Nemri, the Dutchman slash Moroccan driver, just while we're looking there, he's on 240 points. He's 33 points behind. That could be even a bigger challenge for Ismail to jump into the championship lead. He's got to obviously win 2 races, well, a race, and then obviously get into 6th place, and then vice versa. But it's going to be very interesting. The top 4 are going to be the ones to watch, I think. Obviously, Chris Rigby in 5th place, then on 218, he's 55 points behind, so he's a bit too far. He's out of the equation at the moment. Then you've obviously got Nate Fletch, 213. Then you've got Finley Osler on 196, and Nick Sargent on, of course, 189. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Then you've got Oscar Stevenson on 155. Then obviously Fred Coleman. Fred Coleman's missing tonight due to holidaying abroad, so he was on 155. So he may stay there, depending on if Andrew Osler does turn up. I believe he is actually 144 is Fred Coleman. I do apologise, got them completely mixed up. But Andrew Osler's on 105, so I don't think he's going to be able to He's on 139, so I don't think he's going to be able to catch up unless he does attend tonight. Neil Smell on 105, so you know it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. There is a lot of drivers in contention for decent night results. It is going to be down to the nitty gritty. It is going to be also down to the sharp end of the championship. There's a lot of interest there. Neil Smell looking to round out his season. Obviously he's got the Scottish Sultai flag as well as the Ukrainian flag for racing for Ukraine. It is very sad times over in Ukraine at the moment with the issues with them and Russia, so thoughts are with the Ukrainians at this sad time. Nick's obviously in a race for Ukraine inspired Scirocco this evening instead of the Umbongo machine. It's famously been taken for podiums and decent race results. It looks like we have got at the moment 8 races this evening for potentially the final round of the VW Scirocco's, but as I say, it is the final rounds, but it's going to be very close to see what happens. We're going to see who's an escape, but it looks like at the moment Panos is setting the pace with a 145.3 at the moment. It's now 144.9 now, so obviously during free practice he's trying to get used to how close it's going to be for the Scirocco's. It's going to be very close, I think. You know, just looking, you know, with the likes of Panos and Dean's trying to obviously get his first championship under his belt. He's obviously trying to get stop Panos from getting another title, but it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. I think Jamie Hillman in the Pertec inspired Scirocco, he is going to be thereabouts. He will be there. It's an outside chance to get into the top 2, even take the championship away from these guys. He's had 2 race wins already this season, so it's going to be very close to see what he's going to do, even though I think from what I gather, you know, he could break into the top 2. He could even break into the championship lead if he gets a decent run this evening, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But just looking what's there, I think obviously Chris Rigby trying to get on to he's 5th in the championship. He could have an outside chance to get into 4th depending if Ishmael Nemri does turn up, and then there's obviously a lot of thereabouts. I'm not trying to say the commentator's curse will be happening, but you know, got the likes of Oscar Stevenson off at towards the end of the circuit. This circuit is renowned for the chicanes of death, which it is a chicane then another chicane. It is not the best. Clip the wall there and you can be in very treacherous water, especially when you're near the seaside, so hopefully no one hits the wall going into the last corner at the seaside section. But seeing what Finley's going to do, he's coming up towards the seaside head and the seaside chicanes now, but it's going to be looking very interesting. If you're new to the series, obviously as I say, it's the final round of the series. It will be probably final round of it on GT Sport as well, but looking what's going to happen then with tonight, it's going to be very close. The guys obviously have to take 3 tyre compounds in each of the 3 races, so if you start on the Super Softs, you have to take Super Softs for race 1. You can't just change over to the mediums. You have to use that compound you are used for qualifying into race 1, and then obviously race 2 you can use the mediums or the softs depending on how you feel, and obviously in the final race you have to use the last compound you haven't used. I know it sounds complicated, but it isn't. But we'll see what Nick's going to do. He's trying to push that race for Ukraine. Scirocco is obviously currently getting used to. He's had a few podiums or a podium thereabouts this season, so he's obviously going to try and push on for what could be a stellar end to the season. But we'll just go through exactly what is going to happen. Just be wary of certain bits and pieces. I'm just going to double check a lot of things, but it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, because the Jamie Hillman fan club are going to be in fine voice this evening. They are trying to see exactly what's going to happen for the final round of the Scirocco's. It's going to be very close. We've got obviously 9 drivers at the moment. Potentially we may have, this could be the only 9, because obviously with drivers either on holiday, work commitments, or even just sitting out for the remaining race of the season. But it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. And yeah, it's a bit emotional really, because you know the Scirocco's are coming to an end, and obviously going into, well, as I say, going on to pastures new in a couple of weeks with GT7 Gran Turismo 7 being brought out. There will be GT Sport leagues though still going on in the process while people get across to obviously across to GT Gran Turismo 7, but at the moment it will be probably quite a few of the guys will be heading to GT7 when they eventually get a league set up for that. But nevertheless, it's all about tonight, who is going to take out the title and who is going to spray that top champagne on top step as championship winner. I'm not going to put a bold prediction on just yet, but you know, it's going to be very careful to see what happens, because I think Panos is the early pace setter. I think he will try and push on for quite some time. We do have roughly around 4 minutes until qualifying does begin, so the all-important final 10 minute qualifying session of the season as well. It's going to be very close to see what happens. Jamie needs to get for race 1 to potentially try and take the championship lead. He needs the likes of Panos and Dean Atkinson to be down the order, but he needs to take a race win with potentially enough to get him into championship lead with the likes of Panos and of course Dean Atkinson to fall down the order to get there. If he gets the fastest lap and gets pole position and get the trifecta for that, so then he will potentially be on 20 and obviously leading the race as well, so he'll be on the basically pole position, fastest lap as well as leading, so he'll be on 23 points. That's what he needs to do to get into the championship lead. If the likes of Panos and as well as Dean Atkinson fall down the order, you know, he can't afford to get involved in too many scraps if he wants to get up into the top 2 or even first place in the championship. He can't afford that. As not same with Dean, he can't afford to be involved in too many scraps for potentially race 1 to try and extend his advantage. It is 4 points in between him and Panos as well, so you know Panos is currently obviously sitting in pit lane, but he's quite quick. He's been thereabouts, he's been the quickest, he's won quite a few races. I think if it goes down to the tie break, it will go down to the number of races won, so you know there is a lot on the line for this evening. It seems like it was only yesterday since races 1, 2 and 3 at trying to remember where we went for the championship, first round of the championship. I'll just double check where we went for that, because my mind seems to be a bit all over the place with that, but just jump into that very quickly to see what is going to happen. So I think Neil's just doing a practice start on the right hand side of the grid just in case. So the VWs, yeah, we started at Goodwood, so it doesn't seem like yesterday where Goodwood was just starting to kick start the championship. It has changed a lot. There has been potentially a lot of action since then. I think the likes of Andreas Cardenas that had famously took a race 2 victory only to be penalised by the stewards for taking out Finlay Ostler at Goodwood in race number 2. You know, it seems not far. It didn't seem like this season had only just started. So, you know, we are at the final race of the season. I think the guys are getting used to the right hand side of the circuit. I think It is kind of like the grippiest, I think, I'm not too sure. But yes, I've raced around here previously myself. It is a very daunting circuit, especially going into them chicanes as we speak. Hop, skip and jump them. You've got to get the line just right, otherwise you will smash yourself into that barrier and it can potentially be a race ending. It can be disastrous. I think some of the guys have taken it very easily around here, with the likes of obviously Oscar Stevenson. Had a bit of issues at Interlagos in race number 3. I think he had a bit of an issue with Panos where he got taken out. I don't know exactly how that had happened, but he wasn't quite happy. But it is going to be ready for qualifying then for race number 1 of the evening. It is not the it is going to be obviously the second to last race, so it's not the penultimate race yet, but we're going to be in for a cracker. I think Dale's also missing this evening, so there's quite a few guys missing tonight, but it's going to be a very interesting championship finale. And you know, if it's anything like the last couple of weeks, I do apologise yet again for missing last week. I had some personal stuff ongoing which I missed last week, so that will be coming re-live as of potentially maybe over the weekend, or maybe even during the week next week, and I will catch up with that and you guys get to see that live and exclusive on Eldar Sim during the week. So it should be a good night of racing. We've got the likes of Finley Ostler at the moment, just weaving them medium tyres, get heating. The cars are not the easiest cars. They do have a lot of tendency for wheel spin, but we shall see exactly how tonight goes. The circuit can be narrow and it can be literally, it's not life or death, but it is going to be thereabouts, just to put that out there, just seeing exactly what's going to happen. But yes, just hopefully I'm heard on stream. Yes, I am. I do apologise if you heard a repeat of my voice. I was just making sure I was live on stream. But race 1 then is going to be a cracker. We've got qualifying coming up for race 1 to determine the grid, and then it is a reverse grid for race 2 and 3, where it is going to be very interesting to see exactly what is going to happen. But we're not far away from qualifying for race number 1 then. So who is going to take the spoils and take the top step, or should I say pole position, for race number 1 and get that vital point? There is only 9 races tonight, but it isn't really an issue. I think the likes of Jamie Finley as well as Panos and Dean Atkinson have just jumped out of pit lane, so the top 3 in the championship are also out on track. So there's quite a few guys. I think Nick's just waiting for the guys to go out to make sure there's no issues. He will be the last one to leave. So we get underway then with a very interesting stellar night of the season, but we'll see exactly how things go, and it is going to be close as you like. I think, you know, especially going down the hill towards where Jamie's heading now, this is the nitty gritty part of the circuit, because it starts to close down as you go towards the Seaside, and you know, it could be very careful, because the hairpin down at the bottom in towards Seaside hairpin, as we're going to name it. It feels weird because we're normally on the Garden circuit, but we're actually on the Seaside circuit, so into Seaside we go then. But they're just out on their out laps. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. I think Ishmael Memory is going to be the outsider for potentially spoiling the party for the top 3. But Chris Whitby will also have a chance because he's in 5th place in the championship. But it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. But at the moment, Neil Smale then taking his time around here, probably slowly but surely adapting very well. He's had a bit of a, I'm not going to say up and down season, he's had a bit of times where he's got in a bit of a battle and then it's kind of not fallen apart. I think it's just a bit of nerves got the better of him, and he's obviously trying to get better. He's getting better and better as week goes on. You know, he's going to be there about flashes the lights. I think the think he's had a bit of issues with his brake pedal as well previously, but we'll see what he can do tonight. So the three that are out then are, of course, Jamie, Panos, Ishmael, Finley, and of course Neil Smell. They were the ones. Well, Finley's actually gone on to another outlap, so the ones that weren't on the outlap are going to be able to get thereabouts and get the advantage for starters. Dean Atkinson, Oscar, Finley, and of course Chris Rigby, followed by Nick's not on an outlap, Nick's actually on a flyer. So the ones that are on the flyers, then it'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen. I think Jamie knows what he's got to do for potentially getting thereabouts. He's going to obviously fling it into Seaside hairpin for the first flying lap. He's got 7 minutes left, so there's going to be a lot of interest with the 7 laps, with the likes of Panos chasing him down. Panos is another championship outside, well, not an outsider, but a championship protagonist. So we'll always hit the wall there. That's exactly what he didn't want to do. You could just see exactly what had happened when he'd pushed too hard out of that chicane. So Jamie will have a bit of a break away from Ishmael and of course Neil Smale for the time being, but he will be setting the benchmark then. So we'll see what he's going to do. He's about to do a 1:46.4 at the moment. So that's a good lap time from the Englishman, trying to push on. He's gone into pit lane though, however, so just seems a lot of interest with Ishmael with a 1:47.277. So the Dutchman / Moroccan may have a bit of a chance. Jamie's actually gone into pit lane for some bizarre reason. Maybe he obviously wants to set the benchmark, but he's thereabouts. Oscar Stevenson needs to get onto a fast lap now, which he is doing. Same with Chris Rigby. Neil Smell up into third with a 1:54.961, but he's not, because Nick goes 1:46.1. That is an absolute stellar lap time from the normal Umbongo Juice machine, but it's not. It's a racing with for Ukraine this evening, but he's got pole position at the moment. Maybe that's a good way to end his season on a high. Let's see if he keeps it together though, because at 1:46.1 dead at the moment, that seems a very good lap time to put in with the Scirocco trying to push on. I think he is got thereabouts. It's got obviously Jamie and of course Ishmael. Jamie's got an outlap, but that's not what he's going to need. Ishmael's going to have to try and push on for dear life to try and get into the top 2 at the moment. He's got an outside chance tonight as well to clinch that title, but it's going to be very difficult, and it's going to be very difficult for me to keep an eye on who gets where in the championship. So I'm not going to add it up as like I normally previously do, but it could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. So Ishmael coming through the final turn, and he's going to obviously push on. He's always abandoning that lap, so it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's happening. Neil Smell clips them chicanes. He's going to be there, but he's 4th at the moment, so the guys could be under quite some strain. But it's very interesting to see what happens. Oscar Stevenson about to cross the line. He's 5th at the moment. He could even go even faster, and he goes provisional pole position with 1:45.80850. So that knocks Nick down to. Nick's potentially down to 3rd at the moment. He's now down to 4th because Dean Atkinson goes at 1:46.046. Finley Ostler at 1:45.912. So it's very interesting that the title protagonists are slightly apart from Jamie, because Jamie's in 4th at the moment. He's 4th with Dean Atkinson just ahead of him on the grid. We've got 3.5 minutes to go though in this all-important qualifying session of the season, the last one as well. It's going to be very close. Jamie is there in 5th at the moment, so Nick's 4th at the moment with Chris Rigby 6th, with Ishmael 7th, so that's going to be very close. And Neil Smell going a bit slow there, just letting the guys go past. And Panos actually currently, he's purple in that sector. He's 9th. He could actually go back onto pole position depending on certain bits and pieces, and he actually does with a 1:45.316. So that's the second place in the championship is potentially now provisional pole position with 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. So that was a very interesting lap from Panos, from 9th on the grid straight up to P1. But that is going to be something that could be very looked at with the other guys trying to push on. We've got Oscar coming through the last turn. He's currently trying to push on for what could be a stellar end to his season. Second full season though in Eldar Sim. He's still second with a 146.692. Chris Rigby, however, where is he? Still stays 7th, 147.115. So that's very interesting. Neil Smell into pit lane. I think he sat out there for a minute. 2 minutes ago. So Jamie's down into 6th. Then Dean Atkinson knows what he's got to do. He's 4th at the moment in qualifying. Could be thereabouts, but he needs to really get Panos knocked off the top of the tree there for pole position, because Panos will get an extra point. So for pole position, it will bring it down to 3 going into the first race then. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, but it's going to be thereabouts. But you know, Dean's obviously trying to push on. He's obviously championship leader, so he's going to be thereabouts. Let's see what's going to happen. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in qualifying, so it's thereabouts. Finley's still 3rd at the moment. Oscar still 2nd, is coming through there. Panos still goes fastest, 145.034. So he's still eking out that advantage. He's obviously he's got a clear track ahead of him, so that is exactly what is happening. Neil Smell goes back out on that track, so it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But I think Oscar still there. He's still in 2nd at the moment, so he's trying to push on the likes of Finley and of course Dean Atkinson, the nose to tail on track. But I think, you know, the way I've seen at the moment with Panos, he had a clear air of track. Oscar goes into pit lane with 33 seconds remaining, so that lap time may be abandoned, so he may, when he gets out. So Chris goes up into 4th then with 145.915. Jamie, however, 145.722. So the outside chance of potentially the championship is going to be very interesting, because Dean Atkinson's down to 6th at the moment. So, you know, Jamie could be a force to be reckoned for. He's thereabouts, but Panos is still leading then. So qualifying has officially, time has run down. Poor old Neil Smell will not get another crack at a fast lap time. He is currently coming through the final turn, so he's going to have to push on. He will start 9th for race 1 though, and hopefully he will bring up a bit of an easy time. He's got only 8 cars ahead and to try and get into the race lead. Panos though, however, is about to smash he nearly smashed the lap record, but that's very interesting to see what's going to happen. Jamie's currently still 2nd at the moment. He's got an outside chance. Could be a very interesting chance for him as well, because Panos now takes the championship down to 3 points. Jamie actually abandons that sort of lap going into the chicane. You know, Ishmael's on a flyer, so Ishmael is going to try and push on for a very interesting starting point. Excuse me for sneezing down everyone's ear. But it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Is Ishmael going to try and push his way further? He's actually 4th in the championship, so it goes down to 3 points. Dean Atkinson actually goes 2nd, so it's role reversal for potentially the top 2 in the championship, with Panos on pole position with Dean Atkinson 2nd. So that could be a very interesting moment. With actually, it's the top 3 in the championship, but Panos is the other way round. So Panos takes pole position, gets 1 point for that, but then Dean Atkinson, who's currently leading the championship now by 3 points going into race 1, because you get a point for pole position, is currently 2nd on the grid. Jamie, who actually is 3rd in the standings, is actually 3rd on the grid. So in a way, the top 3 are together with Ishmael down in 8th, so that is going to be a bit of a weird not a weird situation, but it's thereabouts. But Chris Rigby sat in pit lane then at the moment, waiting for the timer to run down. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be for a cracker for the first race then, because Panos, Dean and of course Jamie, the top three in the championship, are together. So this could be a very spicy, it could be very close as you like. We'll see potentially how close it's going to get into, of course, the first race of the evening. But you know, it's probably what we want to see, and I've never realised the championship protagonists are going to be that close together. They may even be fireworks going into turn one. There may even be fireworks going around the circuit, because you know, it could be thereabouts. But qualifying now has ended. We are getting ready for the first important race of the evening then, and I'll tell you what, we're in for a stellar retreat, I'll tell you that for next to nothing. Just looking exactly what's going to happen then. So let's see what's going to happen between Panos, Dean and of course Jamie. It is going to be very close, because then you've got Oscar, Finley, Chris Rigby and of course Nick, then Ishmael and Neil Smell at the tail of the field. You can just see the crowd are getting on their feet, ready for the start. The 5 red lights are about to flip to green soon. The revs are building, as are mine. We are good to go for the first race of the final round of the VW Scirocco Cup, brought to you by Chell, Lawman, Motorsport, and this is absolutely going to be tooth and nail. Dean Atkinson straight away, and Jamie Hillman, the Royals, trying to go 3 wide. This could be very close as you like. It is getting thereabouts. Panos is trying to still get away from the likes of Jamie, but Jamie's up into second. No, he's not. He's dropped down to third. But I tell you what, this is absolutely crazy stuff. Straight away, Finley flashing lights at Ishmael, and then reload with Oscar Stevenson now spoiling that symmetry of the top 3 in the championship up into third. He's got Dean Atkinson right behind him, but this is absolutely what Panos needs. He's obviously 3 points in it at the moment. He's going to try and lead the way down the rise we go then. It's going to be very close into that chicane, towards the Pirelli chicane should we say, but it's going to get there. Ishmael Nembry also chasing after with the likes of Finley, Neil Smell up into 8th with Chris Rigby side by side with him, and of course Nick Sargent down in 9th for the moment. Only 9 cars at the moment, but let's see what's happening for the race lead. Is Panos getting there? Jamie runs a bit wide as well with Oscar Stevenson, but Oscar is under the attack from Dean Atkinson, the Foster's mobile. He knows what he's got to do. He's got to try and be careful side by side. This is exactly what you don't want to have, because a lot of cars will be jumping and skipping them curbs with great precision. But Panos gets that gap from Jamie at the moment, with Dean Atkinson still 4th. Ishmael Nembry, who's currently 4th in the championship, has an outside chance. But this is absolutely tooth and nail going on to lap number 2 out of 8 tonight. It is going to be very close. Finley's still there in 6th place with Nick and Chris Rigby having a bit of a battle. Neil's dropped back down to 9th, but I tell you what, it is going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen between everyone for the championship. It looks like Jamie's trying to get close as he can. I think the likes of Oscar and Dean Atkinson, even though Dean's fighting for the championship at the moment, he's got to be very careful and could potentially end in tears in the first race. You don't want it to end in tears. You want it to go by a lot of cars to try and not get in the way. I think Ishmael's got a bit of slight issues there in his McLaren inspired livery Scirocco, but Dean Atkinson is under pressure from the 4th place man in the championship, but he's currently 5th at the moment, trying to put Dean Atkinson under a lot of pressure. It's going to be very close to see exactly how close they're going to get. The 3 between Oscar, Dean and of course Ishmael, trying to go down the hill towards Seaside. I'll tell you what, it's going to get very carefully picked between the pair of them. Let's see what's going to happen. Is Oscar going to hold on for dear life? He now drops down, potentially still 3rd at the moment. Dean Atkinson trying to get that line. Is he going to get thereabouts? He's trying to push on, but it's going to get very careful into the other chicanes now. This is where the bravest have to be careful. As Dean gets into 3rd, then he's now going to have to power and catch up towards Jamie and of course Panos at the moment with Oscar and Ishmael. Ishmael 4th then, Oscar's currently could be on course to be thereabouts. Oscar runs a bit wide out of the hairpin towards the end of lap number 2. Finley and of course Nick having a bit of a battle at the moment. Nick's trying to literally push himself further up. He's had a couple of 6th place finishes, but I tell you what, he's currently back in, he's into 6th place then, with Oscar and Ishmael battling for 4th and 5th. This could be even close, you know. Nick's into 6th then, but is he going to be able to? Yes, Oscar and Ishmael still there for 4th and 5th respectively. This could be absolutely diabolical if it could end in tears, but I don't think it will. But hop, skip and jump them curbs, you can just see how close the cars are getting between each other. But Nick into 6th then, he's got an eye view of the 4th and 5th battle ahead of him. It could be thereabouts. Panos gets the fastest lap at the moment with 1:45.170. That could easily be the Oscar goes a bit wide. A bit of contact between him and Ishmael Nemri. That fires Ishmael into the barrier with a quite substantial bit of damage as well. I don't think that was necessary. I don't think Oscar meant it, but he's slowing down, waiting for Ishmael Nemri now. I think Ishmael's going to be in a lot of bother. It seems that damage has cost him dearly. That could even cost him dearly for catching up to the top 3 in the championship this time round. But Jamie in 2nd, then Dean Atkinson, championship leader, may be pulling them points down to a couple of bits of gaps, but you know, it's going to be very interesting. Nick up into 4th then, Finley 5th at the moment, Chris in 6th, Oscar in 7th. He's waiting for, I think he's waiting for Ishmael Nemri to turn up, but Ishmael's that far behind. It's not going to be able to be done because he's going to be unable to. But Finley's catching up to Nick. You know, it's gone to lap 4 then with around 5 laps to go in this race. It could be down to the nitty gritty end of the first race, but just looking what Nick's doing, he's trying to push on. He's impressed himself all season. He's even impressed me. But I'll tell you what, he is looking forward to ending his season on a high. Dean Atkinson at the moment, no idea what's going to do for the championship, but you know, Panos potentially may take the championship lead this time round in race number 1. This is what he wants to do. Jamie potentially could be into 2nd. It all depends on I mean, maths won't serve me right until we know exactly at the end of the season. But you know, Dean Atkinson currently there in 3rd place, so the top 3 in the championship are kind of almost in excuse me, reverse order, with Dean in 3rd, who currently leads the championship, with Jamie that he's in currently 2nd. He's 3rd in the championship. He may be 2nd after this race. It all depends on obviously points scores there, but Panos leading the race. He's led the race and he's obviously getting fastest lap, so he will get the trifecta. Bear in mind any mistake, I don't want to put commentator's curse on just yet. Nick's now eking out that advantage from Finley. Clips that wall though. And Super Softs have got to be very careful with Finley trying to catch him up, with the likes of Chris Rigby and of course Oscar and thereabouts. I think Oscar was waiting for Ishmael Nemri to get past, but he realises Ishmael is around 5.9 of a second from Neil Smell at the moment. But Ishmael, he is not going to be liking that. A bit of slight contact which put him in the barrier and then put him into considerable amount of damage on that Scirocco. But Jamie's still in 2nd then, with Panos still leading. Could be very close as you like between them. Got the likes of Nick and of course Finley trying to battle for 4th and 5th respectively. These two could be having a close battle towards the end. We're on to lap 5 out of 8, so there's around 4 laps to go in this race. Then it is going to be all or nothing. It could be very close, but you know, I think if Nick thinks about it, if Dean's on the softs rather, not the super softs, but it could be very close to see exactly what is happening. There's a battle between Chris Rigby and of course Oscar Stevenson. A bit of the pair of them have had a bit of battles this season as well. So Chris is holding on for 6th versus Oscar. At the moment it could be thereabouts. Oscar gets a bit loose, gets the front wheel drive Scirocco sliding. He's trying not to slide it. He's got them super softs, trying to push on with the likes of Chris trying to defend, but Chris can't defend from Oscar this time round. Oscar gives him a bit of a tap out of that hairpin there, but this is exactly how things are going to happen. We'll see what's happening for 4th and 5th in a moment or two, but I tell you what, it is going to get very careful between the likes of Oscar and Chris Rigby going into chicanes. Got to be careful you don't clip it too much, but then Finley's closed up right up to the back of Nick's back bumper, trying to tap Nick, not trying to tap Nick into a spin, but he's trying to say to Nick, right, I am here, just be careful. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Nick still 4th at the moment, so 3 laps to go in this race. Then it's going to be very careful with the likes of Dean Atkinson still 3rd, Jamie still 2nd at the moment, so he's an outside chance. Third in the championship, potentially could propel him up into 2nd if we are careful. But Panos is still leading the race then. Let's see what's happening. Finley's dropped back a bit from Nick now, so that's a bit very interesting to see exactly what happened there with Oscar 6th, Chris Rigby now 7th. He's dropped back a bit from Oscar. Neil Smell 8th, and obviously Ishmael Memory excuse me, in 9th place at the moment. But Panos controlling the start to the 6th lap at the moment. He's got a 1:44.9 at the moment, so obviously he knows what he's got to do to get this title wrapped up. Potentially, I have a feeling he may be able to push on. He's on the super softs at the moment, but you know, it's going to be very interesting to see what race 2 and 3 are going to bring. But Jamie's there in 2nd at the moment with the likes of Dean Atkinson 3rd, Nick still 4th, Finley's catching him slightly but surely, but it is going to be very close. Let's see what happens through these chicanes. Sparking his way across that wall is Nick. Got to be very careful, you don't spark it too much and it fires you into the wall. But it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen onto the penultimate lap very soon. Oscar's still there in, of course, 6th. Chris in, of course, 7th. Neil Smale 8th at the moment, so he's up 1 place from 9th. But Ishmael Nemri then currently still 9th at the moment, not having the best of nights so far for the man in 4th place in the championship. Potentially may have to try and push on, but Panos still is there in 1st place, followed by Jamie and of course Dean Atkinson. So the top 3 in the championship are almost sort of together on track, but it's going to be very close to see what happens. But Nick's currently under pressure from Finley at the moment, going down towards the Pirelli chicane. It's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. It's kind of like a very close quartet of cars trying to be faster, but you can just see Nick trying to push on, trying to get away from Finley as best as he can towards the Pirelli chicane. Then he goes into Pirelli, just gets a bit of a squirm slightly. It's not too aggressive, but obviously down towards the Seaside hairpin now. As we get towards the chicanes, it looks like Dean Atkinson is trying to catch up to Jamie as best as he can, but he knows time's running out because it's getting towards the final lap now. Panos will power his way towards the final to get onto the final lap, but you know, Jamie's hop, skipping, jumping them curbs as best as he can. Dean Atkinson tries to get the better line as well. This is exactly how the drivers are going to be pushing on, with the likes of Finley and of course Nick trying to push on. Nick's still there in 4th at the moment. Oscar 6th, Chris in 7th. Neil Smell's now been caught by Ishmael Nemri for what could be 8th and 9th. There could be a bit of a battle, both get a good line out of the chicanes, but looks like Ishmael's trying to take Neil Smell. He's going to try and get there. Neil Smell flicked the right hand indicator on, probably by mistake, but he's let Ishmael go, which seems to be a bit of a hindrance. But Ishmael still got the hazards on for a moment, but he flicked them back off. But he's probably thinking, well, Ishmael needs more points. But Neil Smell will get pole position for race 1 unless Ishmael crashes out. Obviously, don't put commentator's curse on just yet, but Panos currently lights to flag victory then, with Jamie being slightly caught by Dean Atkinson. This could be very close to see what Dean's going to do to try and catch up to Jamie. I think it's going to even spice things up for the penultimate race of the season. But I'll tell you what, it is going to get there. Nick's still in 4th at the moment. with the likes of Finley 5th, Oscar 6th, slightly kicking up that dirt today. He's trying to push on. He knows what he's going to try and do with Chris Rigby there in 7th, Ishmael in, of course, 8th at the moment, Neil Smale 9th. But Panos is about to come through the other chicane, the last chicane of the evening. He may take now. It's going to be probably 23 points. And it's going to bring the title a bit closer towards his grasp, but comes through the final turn. Then he is about to cross the line and take a well-deserved lights to flag victory. It was a bit close for comfort with the top 3 in the championship thereabouts, but hasn't even flashed the lights in delight. He's probably thinking, well, what's going to happen, because Jamie's still there in second. Jamie could leapfrog Dean into second, I'm not too sure, but I'm sure it'll be figured out. But Dean flashes the lights, comes home in third. Nick will be 4th then, so that seems a very good result for Nick, with Finley 5th, Oscar 6th. Don't think he was too best pleased with having a bit of contact with Ishmael, with Chris Rigby now into 7th then, so he's 7th in the team hard inspired Scirocco. Ishmael Nemri in 8th then, flashes the lights there with the light. Neil rather, in 9th then. So it seems there's going to be a lot of interest, and hardly any drivers with the penalties either, so that's a very good clean race for this opening race of the Scirocco Cup for the final round. Nick says he just couldn't catch Dean. Well, this shows, doesn't it? This shows, mate. You know, but I'll get the race results as well as the replays, so hopefully we do have some very interesting moments. But we'll go into the first race results of the evening then. So it's going to be Panos takes the victory, followed by Jamie in 2nd, Dean Atkinson in 3rd, Nick 4th, with Finley 5th, Oscar 6th, Chris Rigby 7th, Ishmael 8th, Neil Smell 9th. Panos gets the fastest lap on lap number 3 with 1:44.9 rather on lap number 3. I'll tell you what, Panos is eking out that advantage now. It is going to be roughly a lot of challenge now for Dean Atkinson and of course Jamie Hillman to try and take the championship away from Panos. Panos takes that championship lead slightly going into the penultimate race of the season, because he gets the trifecta, he gets the race lead point, which is a point, he gets the fastest lap, as well as in 20 points for the race win as well. So it's going to be very interesting. I've just tried to work it out. But yes, it is going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. I do apologise if my maths seems absolutely useless. I'm not very good at adding up and trying to figure out who is where in the championship. But you know, I think Panos is taking the championship lead slightly, and that's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But it's still a bit cloudy. The sun's come behind the clouds, so obviously they're going to have to get their tyres on for race number 2. It could be very close to see exactly what's happening. I think Dean's saying he had a bit of a lag spike. Well, I've not really noticed, so hopefully that will give you a bit of a vote of confidence. But it's going to be thereabouts to see what's going to happen. So Neil Smell will be on pole position, followed by Ishmael Nemri, so it's going to be very close to see how close that's going to get. But we're not far away from race number 2 then. Race number 2's grid will be Neil Smell followed by Ishmael Nemri. It's a standing start, followed by Chris Rigby, Oscar, and then of course Finley, Nick, Dean and Jamie, and then Panos at the tail of the field. It is going to be very close though, but it's going to be thereabouts to figure out some title challenges. Then it's going to be close as you like. I think Jamie may have a bit of okay, according to Nick, Panos is 4 points ahead at the moment, so that could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen within a bit of interest to see exactly what's going to happen for race number 2. It's kind of 4 points in it between Panos and, of course, I think it is going to be Dean or Jamie. But I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with everyone's racing so far tonight as well as the season. We've had quite a few moments or two, but it's not really been too bad. It's, you know, it's something that Fridays have been very adaptable. It's been very close indeed. Not too sure exactly what's up with Neil Smale at the moment, but I think he's not having a good night at the moment. But excuse me, he does not need to give up. He's got 2 more races to go and then the season's over and done with. But you can see exactly what's going to happen for the penultimate race then. It is going to be very interesting because we are round about a second, maybe a minute away till race number 2 starts, the penultimate race of the season. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. So I think, according to Neil, it's the last 2 races for him. Well, it may not be, mate. You may be on the grid for quite some time, but let's hopefully race 2 and race 3. It is obviously going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. But at the moment, Panos brings the gap back down to 4 points in the championship. So it's 4 going into tonight. It's now 4 going into race 2 as well. So it's anyone's guess as well. We could have the tightest championship in Eldar Sim history. It has been proven before. But we will see what's going to happen for race number 2, then the penultimate race of the season, the penultimate 8-lap encounter as well. It is going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But Neil Smale on pole position with Ishmael Nemri alongside him, and then Chris Rigby, Oscar, Finley, Nick, and of course Dean Atkinson, Jamie, and of course Panos at the tail of the field. You can just see the fans just getting ready for another exciting 8-lap encounter. The revs are building as are mine. The green lights are about to flick on any moment now. Who's going to get a decent start? It looks like Ishmael Nemri has a decent start. It looks like Neil Smale has bogged down slightly, but Chris Rigby also there. Chris Rigby was an absolute demon starter at one of the circuits this season. I can't remember exactly which one, but Finley, and of course, is that Finley? Yes, he is. Finley's up into 3rd then, with Dean Atkinson 4th at the moment. Chris Rigby's dropped down to 5th now, so that's kind of interesting. Neil back up into 2nd then, so he's going to push on now. He wants to try and end the season on a high. I think, you know, with what's been going on recently, he's had a bit of rough and tumble, but Finley is there in 3rd with Dean Atkinson 4th at the moment, with the likes of Chris Rigby he's in 5th, followed by Oscar and Jamie. They're going to battle. Panos into 8th, and Nick down to 9th at the moment. So Nick's had a bit of a nightmare this time around, but he's going to try and push on. He's trying to get to Panos. He's trying to put a dent, not literally put a dent into Panos' car, but he's trying to put a dent into Panos to try and get that championship, trying to stop him extending that championship lead. But it's very careful because the 3 cars between Panos, Oscar and Jamie are thereabouts. Neil Smale into 2nd at the moment, but I'll tell you what, Panos is trying to get further up the field. Nick's got a bird's eye view of these guys clattering each other against the wall, and Panos was the one that came off worse, with the likes of Jamie and Oscar trying to battle. I think they were literally going 3 cars wide there. I think Nick's also saw that, but Nick gets unscathed. He's in 6th place at the moment with Jamie down in 7th. Panos now has to do all that work. He's in 9th place at the moment. That's not going to do his championship lead any good. That will drop him. But Ishmael there leads the race then from Finley and Neil Smale. Neil Smale needs to push on. He wants to get onto the podium. He's got to be thereabouts. He's 3rd at the moment, so he could be easily latching onto the back of Finley for 2nd place at the moment. Just Rigby 4th, Dean Atkinson 5th, Nick now 6th, Jamie and Oscar 7th and 8th. Got to be careful. because I'll tell you what, the stewards will be looking with prying eyes. And Jamie's trying to get past Oscar. He's trying to get past the number 2 machine. It's 22 versus the 2. It could be very careful. It could be easily picked out. It could be thereabouts. But Oscar at the moment pushing, trying to push alongside Jamie. Jamie's thereabouts. Poor old Panos though. He's around 16.8 from the race lead at the moment, and he's around 7.7 of a second. But Chris Rigby's in a bit of a battle with Neil Smell. Neil's trying to also catch up to Finley, as well as get away from Chris Rigby if he can. Might be easy, but Neil Smell trying to literally push on. He's trying to push that Scottish racing team Scirocco away. It's going to be very interesting to see if he can hold on. He may be able to. He's got around 6 laps to go though, so it's going to be very careful to see what's going to happen. He's got Chris alongside him. Chris is trying to put that 87 machine versus Neil's car at the moment. Well, it could be very interesting to see exactly what's happened. Dean's there, still in 5th, Nick's still 6th, Jamie 7th, Oscar 8th, Panos coming through the final turn now in 9th. He's got to be careful. I don't think he's going to be happy with what happened there. He actually hit that wall quite hard. Ishmael's still there, and of course first place with Finley, and second Chris and Neil battling for 3rd and 4th. Now this could be very careful. Neil's trying to get back onto the podium, but I think Chris is trying to push on and gets another. I think he got a podium at Largo last week. He's been on the podium at Red Bull, but Neil Smell gets back into 3rd though. We've just seen that move done very well with Dean trying to catch these guys up. He's trying to, he knows that Panos is now down in 9th place now, so he's got to push on. He knows that Jamie's 2 cars behind in 7th at the moment, with Oscar 8th. Panos is still there. Ishmael Nemri still pushing on for the race lead, with Finley trying to catch up. Neil Smell under attack from Chris Rigby into Seaside. Could be very careful, but Chris gets back into 3rd. Neil Smell trying to catch him back up. It could be very careful. See exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Chris and Neil going into the chicanes. This could be where it could go horribly wrong. It went horribly wrong for Panos on the opening lap though, didn't it? So, you know, Oscar's trying to catch up to Jamie, but poor old Panos is around 5.1 seconds from Oscar, 17.6 from the race lead itself. It's absolutely crazy racing. I'll tell you what, the stewards will be looking at it as well. But Ishmael Nemri with a 146.220, but Finley takes the fastest lap now, 145.77. So that's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Chris and Neil still battling. Neil's going to try and... oh! Neil's trying to push on. He's literally there. He's literally trying to get that 3rd place from Chris Rigby with around 5 laps to go in this race. It could be all or nothing between Chris and Neil. Dean Atkinson's there with prying eyes saying, if you two crash into each other, I will literally catch up to you guys. It is going to be thereabouts. But Nick's also there as well, so let's see what's going to happen between these guys. It's going to be very careful. Neil's trying to push on. Dean's still there. Nick's also there, 6th. Jamie holding off Oscar for 8th place, for 7th place with Oscar 8th. Panos still there. He's going down the hill now, catching these guys slowly but surely. He's not going out to win this time round, but he's not going out to get the maximum points at the moment. But Neil is trying to chase after Chris Rigby, but he can't because he's fallen into the clutches of Dean Atkinson, and of course Nick's also there as well. This could be very close. Nick wants a podium, but he's going to have to. He can't catch these guys up quite quickly. Dean goes a bit near the wall, but he's not hit the wall as hard as we thought. But Nick into 5th then seems to put that racing for Ukraine Scirocco between the Fosters and the Scottish Racing Scirocco. So Nick's trying to push on. He's trying to get another couple of points in the bag, but could be very careful onto lap 5 then, with around 4 laps to go in the penultimate race of the season. It's going to be very careful with Chris Rigby there now, still in third. He's got Neil Smell still fourth. Neil's trying to catch him up as best as he can. You can just see how close he's getting and getting. He's getting closer and closer. He's got to be careful because Nick's there with Dean. Dean's trying to think, well, Nick, you can't get past me. How dare you? But at the moment, Dean is the top scorer out of the championship protagonists with Jamie and Oscar. They're still battling for 7th and 8th as Oscar tries to make a move on Jamie. Jamie defends like mad just there. Panos is catching these guys up slowly but surely. He's not going to make up ground though, unless the guys make a mistake. But looks like Chris is trying to get away from Neil Smell. Neil's got Nick for company. Nick's trying to get past him, trying to get 4th place from Neil Smell. Is he going to try and do it? No, he doesn't, because Neil defends, but Neil goes a bit too deep into the Seaside hairpin. Nick's almost there, trying to catch up as best as he can, but he's going to try and go side by side with Neil into the chicanes. That could be a bit of a risky manoeuvre, but it's not, because Nick's there on that trying to get that inside line. He's going to try and get Neil into the final hairpin. Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. He's just about got Neil, but Neil tries the overcut. Very cleverly done though as well. But Nick up into 4th then. Having a bit of a nice battle with Neil Smell, with Dean Atkinson also there. Oscar and Jamie still there. Panos hasn't got the legs to catch up, but Ishmael Nemri though at the moment 4th place. That could propel him further back up the championship. It's going to be thereabouts. We'll see exactly what is going to happen with Finley 2nd, Chris in 3rd with Nick. Dean Atkinson now 5th with Neil 6th. Neil's trying to push on. He's trying to push back up to 4th, but Neil gets a lot of airtime, but gets the line perfectly onto Dean Atkinson to take 5th place away from him. Seems to be a very hop, skip and a jump Scirocco there, but Dean and Neil, they're going to battle now, because that's allowed Nick to try and get close to, of course, Chris Rigby for 3rd place, but Neil Smell's driving the socks off that Scirocco this time round. He wants to end his season on the high, and I'll tell you what, he's doing a very good race at the moment. Fair play to him. He's got Dean really pressurising him. It's going to be very close between the Fosters and Scottish racing team Scirocco. Nick's trying to catch up to Chris at the moment. Let's see what's happening between Oscar and Jamie. Jamie is there, still 7th at the moment with Oscar 8th. Could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, but it's going to be very close for comfort between Oscar and Jamie. Panos is now catching them slowly but surely. He's thinking about race 3. Race 3, it could go down to the wire, but onto the penultimate lap then Ishmael Nemri goes with Finley and of course Chris Rigby under threat from Nick. Nick's trying to push on. He's literally probably racing the living daylights out of that Scirocco, thinking, not on your life sunshine, I'm going to catch you. But I'll tell you what, Dean Atkinson 5th, Neil 6th. Fair play, Neil's not giving up. He's actually done he's going to try and go for the attack again. Neil is absolutely a stellar racer. If you want to have a look at Neil's racing, he is there. He knows exactly how to race. He's been an Eldar veteran as much as these guys have as well. Hop, skips and jumps that curb yet again, but I think that's he's outbroke himself slightly. But I'll tell you what, he's not giving up. He's not giving up this time. Nick's on the charge to try and get Chris down towards Pirelli. This could be very close to see what's going to happen. I'll tell you this is where it could be a move into Seaside. Excuse me. But it's going to be very close. Ishmael and Finley, they were sort of close together on the map, but I think Jamie's now dropped. Jamie's dropped down tonight, but he's got Panos in front of him, so Panos is trying to pick another couple of places, but Jamie and Panos, they're side by side. Oscar is also there, but the battle for 3rd and 4th is respectable, as well as 7th, 8th and 9th. It could be Could be anyone for this, but Nick's falling into the clutches of Dean at the moment. This could be a disaster for Nick. He could be going backwards, but he's not. But onto the final lap then. Ishmael Nemri goes with Chris in third, then Nick still fourth, with Dean Atkinson fifth, with Neil Smell sixth, Oscar seventh, Jamie back into eighth, Panos. Oh, he's clipped the wall again. He's clipped the wall. He's back into ninth, so he's not doing very well. Points could be very equally this time. But Ishmael is there. Finley second, Chris in fourth, third rather. Nick fourth, Dean fifth at the moment. Could be outscoring Panos this time round. But I tell you what, it's going to be a bit close going into the final round of the championship. It's thereabouts, but I tell you what, Dean's trying to push on. He's trying to get Nick for fourth, because I think if he gets Nick for fourth, he could try and outscore a bit more points to Panos. But he's trying to get there. Oh, hop, skips and jumps that curb. Nick did not be aware of that. But Nick's now dropped down to fifth at the moment. But Ishmael Nemri coming through the final chicane then. He's actually coming up towards the final two chicane, should I say. But he's going to be pushing on. Finley still there in second place, so rounding up the season with another podium. It could be thereabouts, but Ishmael is thereabouts. Dean and Nick are still nose to tail. Neil Smell's dropped back a bit, but he's sixth place at the moment, so that's been a very good battle for him. But Ishmael is there then. He's about to cross the line. He's currently trying to push on. He's about to cross the line. He will flash the lights, hopefully in the lights to take a race win. He doesn't actually. Finley second, Chris in, of course, third place at the moment, swerving. He's flashing the lights. Dean Atkinson fourth, Nick fifth. That could be a bit of an interesting calculation. Neil in sixth, he'll be happy with that, no doubt. Oscar seventh then, with Jamie in eighth, Panos ninth in that race. That could be very close, but Finley gets the fastest lap, so Panos actually gets a bit of a, I don't know how it's going to go to the final round of the season and what's going to happen points wise, but Ishmael takes the race victory then, and it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Well, let's have a look then at the race results then. Ishmael Nemri takes a lights to flag victory after getting a decent start from Neil Smale, with Finley in second, followed by Chris Rigby third, Dean Atkinson fourth, so the title could be going down to the wire. It could go down to the last eight lap race of the season. It's going to be very tense. Nick in, of course, fifth, Neil Smale sixth, Oscar seventh, Jamie eighth, Panos ninth. Panos didn't get the fastest lap, so you know it's probably gonna get tense and tense, with Finley with a 1:45.773. I'll tell you what, it is going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen for the final race of the season. I'm slightly nervous, if I'm honest. But it sounds like Panos has had a bit of issues with Jamie in that race. All I'm gonna say is I'm gonna let the stewards decide what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be very close to see exactly what's gonna happen, as the sun is setting on a fabulous championship, and I'll tell you what, it's gonna be all or nothing. But it will be Panos that starts the rolling start and the final race of the season. He's going to try and push on now. It is going to be all or nothing. Panos needs to push away to try and get the championship. But I don't know. It's going to be very difficult. But who knows exactly what's going to happen. Excuse me. Don't mean to yawn down everyone's ear, but yes, it is going to be all or nothing going into the final race of the season. I'll tell you what, we're in for a treat. This is going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But who knows exactly or what is going to happen. So according to Nick, and thank you Nick for your help, for really helping me sort out my maths, because my maths brain is non-existent. Dean has 2 points in it going into the final race of the season, so he needs to literally somehow get Panos to catch up. He starts towards the rear of the grid, but it is going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. I think, you know, just looking exactly what's happened, I'm not too sure what's going to happen for the final race. It is going to be very close. I think Dean now knows 2 points are in it between him and Panos. It could be very close. You know, as I say, the season, it's thrown a lot of surprises. So race 3 is around 3 minutes away. So the third and final race of the season, it's going to be very close. I think Panos needs to try and push away now from Dean Atkinson to try and take the title. Panos has won so many interesting Eldar Sim titles as well. As Jamie clips that wall, that's exactly what you don't want to be doing. I think that's exactly certain bits and pieces in the racing that's been happening. Funny enough, no one's actually picked up the penalty for track limits tonight. It's just been thereabouts, but I think Dean knows what he's got to do now. He's got to try and push on to try and get where he needs to be, I think. But it could be very interesting for race number 3, the final race of the season. As I say, the sun is setting on a fabulous season, and who knows what the next breed of championship's going to be. But it's going to be a very good one indeed. I can't wait personally to see what's going to happen, but hopefully the guys will have a good race and it will be very interesting. Dean's on the super softs. Just going to check what tyres everyone is. It's going to be Oscar's on the softs, so Dean's on the super softs. Ishmael is there. He's on the mediums. Jamie's on the super softs. Nick's on the mediums. Neil on the super softs. Finley on the softs. Panos on the softs, and then Chris Rigby also on the softs. So it's going to be very careful, but let's see what's going to happen in a minute or two. And I think, you know, the final round of the season, let's hope there's no fireworks, literally, but let's hope the final race of the season provides some fantastic entertainment, as much as it has all season, because, you know, without the drivers racing, we wouldn't have a race, and it has been really close. The commentary, I tell you what, I've lost my voice a few times, but, you know, it's been absolutely top class. I don't know really what to say, but Ishmael, expect from, I don't know what FF means, but FF burnouts, that would be very interesting if you could do a burnout in a front wheel drive as he tries to drift it. It's not rear wheel drive, sorry Jim. But let's see what's going to happen for the last race of the season then. It is going to go down to the wire. It is going down to the wire. 2 points in it. I don't want to put commentator's curse on them. I really don't. But Panos will be leading the rolling start from Jamie. Then you've got Oscar, and then you've got Neil, then Nick, Dean Atkinson, Chris, Finley, and then Ishmael at the tail of the field. It is going to be another 8-lap encounter, the final 8-lap encounter of the season. It is going to be very close. Let's see what's going to happen. But nevertheless, it has been a stellar season. But let's see what's going to happen. Is Panos going to take another lights to flag victory, or is someone else going to put a dent to try and catch him, or is Dean going to be literally putting the pedal to the floor? He knows it's 2 points in it now, so it could be all or nothing. But everyone's got a decent start, with the likes of Panos now currently trying to escape away from Jamie. These two have actually had a bit of issue in race number 2, but it could be all or nothing. Let's see what's going to happen. The likes of Oscar Stevenson straight away catching up towards Jamie as best as he can, but I think this is where it's going to be all or nothing. The 9 Scirocco's that are left for this evening's final round, as Oscar gets past Jamie with precision, tries to get thereabouts, but Jamie gets the overlap. Panos is still there, leading the race. Then he is going to be on course to try and catch Dean Atkinson. Needs to get 2 or more points to take the title. This could be a nail-biting finish, but I tell you what, it is going to be all or nothing, because Neil Smell's still there in 4th at the moment. Dean in, of course, 5th at the moment. Nick's down to 7th. He's got Chris Whitby ahead of him, Finley, and of course Ishmael. They're going to be catching as well from the back of the field, but it looks like at the moment Oscar and of course Jamie, they're having a bit of a battle. Got to be very careful where you put that car, because as proven in race 2, the walls are very unforgiving. As Panos has made a mistake. That is unfortunate. He has made a mistake. Where is he? He is, oh, he's wounded. He is wounded. He's down to 9th. That is unfortunate. So that's allowed Jamie to get into the race lead with Oscar thereabouts. But I tell you what, this is actually already thrown up a surprise on the opening lap. So Jamie first, Oscar second, Neil Smale in 3rd at the moment with Dean Atkinson. Dean Atkinson knows that I beg your pardon, Panos down to 9th. That is not going to do Panos any favours now. That is going to be probably championship over, unless there's any mistakes, unless there's any issues with the stewards. But I tell you what, that is absolutely unreal. Oscar takes the race lead, then Neil Smell trying to push on. Dean Atkinson 4th at the moment. He knows Panos is down in 9th. As soon as he probably saw Panos at the side of the road, he was like, oh dear. But, you know, he's probably laughing inside that Foster's liveried Scirocco. It's like a swarm of angry bees as per usual, but Oscar, Dean and Neil Smale side by side. 3 cars going over the wide. It could be soon 4 cars. Oh my goodness. Trying to make it 4 cars wide into Seaside. Dean Atkinson takes the race lead. Oh, this is absolutely what he wants. Jamie 2nd at the moment. Neil in 3rd, then Oscar 4th at the moment. This could be very close. This title is going down to the wire, as it rightly predicted, with Finley 5th, Chris in 6th. Oh, he's clipped the wall. He's also bounced into Nick, so Nick goes 6th. Ishmael in 8th. Panos still there. He's on the lead lap at least, but he's 9th at the moment. That's not what he wants. Dean Atkinson leading the race then, so he's going to be there about. This is absolutely close as you like, but Jamie's still there in 2nd place at the moment, trying to take 1st place from Dean Atkinson, but Dean Atkinson was getting the fastest lap. Not anymore, because Finley gets the fastest lap, but I'll tell you what, it's getting nose to tail, it's getting chaotic. Neil Smale trying to jump onto the podium with Oscar and Finley. Not Oscar, Jamie and Finley rather. No, Jamie and Oscar, but Finley's there, that's why. I do apologise, ladies and gents, but when you got a swarm of angry bees coming straight at you, you don't know what to exactly predict. But Oscar in 3rd, then Neil Smale 4th. Nick runs a bit wide. Ishmael also does the same. Panos is catching up slowly but surely, but I've got to feel sorry for Panos. He's got the fastest lap, 1:46.448 at the moment, but we're on to lap 3 out of 8 then. It's going down towards the nitty-gritty sharp end of the championship now. You know, we're around at least 6 laps to go in this race. It's going to get very close. It is going to get pretty much close for comfort, but Dean Atkinson, he knows Panos is at the tail of the field. So this could easily be his championship with the likes of Oscar and Neil Smell. Neil's trying to push on for that fourth place, but Oscar, no! Dean Atkinson, oh no! Dean's also wounded, Oscar's wounded. Oh, no way. No way. The title takes another twist. Panos is 6th at the moment, Ishmael 7th, Dean's now in 8th. Oh no. That is not going to do him any favours now. That is going to be gut-wrenching. Dean is going to be absolutely furious. Oscar in 9th then, and they both clipped the wall by looks of it. Jamie in 1st and Neil Smell 2nd at the moment with Finley close for comfort. Panos is now 4th. Panos could easily wrap up this title, but he's got to be careful. He's in a scrap where he does not want to be with around 5 laps to go. This is absolutely insane. This is exactly... It's thrown up some fireworks, it's thrown up some surprises now. It's getting tense. It is getting tense by the minute with 5 laps to go. Chris trying to hold off Nick for that 5th place at the moment with Ishmael trying to catch up. Panos is there, but Chris is also trying to catch up to Panos. Neil Smell trying to hold on from Finley for that 2nd place. Jamie in 1st place could be taking another victory. It all depends. Panos is still 4th at the moment. Chris is trying to catch him up, but it's going to get very tense, because if Panos makes a mistake, that could easily put Dean back thereabouts as my camera decides to throw a wobbler. But Panos is still there in 4th at the moment, going out of the final turn. Who was that? Oh, it's Neil. Oh no, Neil's dropped down to 8th place at the moment. He's got damage. He's clipped the wall somehow. He's not having a good evening of racing at the moment. Panos is into 3rd then. This is the battle. I'll tell you what's been happening is the guys have been pushing too hard to get where they want to be, and they've clipped the wall so many times, and it's what's damaged the car very badly. But Jamie still leads the race then from Finley, followed by Panos. Panos potentially may have the championship sewn up, but Dean's still there. Where is Dean? He's currently 7th at the moment. It could be 6th. Tries to get past Nick. Nick could I don't think Nick's going to do him any favours, but Nick lets him by. But then Dean runs a bit. Oh, I thought he was going to run a bit wide then. He's trying to take Ishmael. I think Ishmael's trying. This is actually going to get really close. My voice could be potentially gone by the time we get onto lap number 6. But I'll tell you what, it's getting very close. Chris there trying to chase after Panos. Panos needs to push on. Can't afford any mistake now if he wants to level the points. But I'll tell you what, whatever happens, it's been a stellar season. But Panos in 3rd at the moment, Finley 2nd. Jamie still leads the race then. Panos is there. He's got Chris Rigby chasing him down. Panos has got to be very careful. Does not need to clip the walls. You know, it seems like, you know, he pushed a bit too hard. He's getting, oh, I thought he was going to clip that wall, but he's not. He's controlled it very perfectly. Dean's there in 5th. He's got a car between him and Panos. He's got Chris ahead of him. Ishmael in 6th, then Nick 7th. Oscar in 8th. Neil Smell 9th. Poor old Neil. He's on course for a podium, and he's gone from a bit of worse for his point of view. But Panos is still there 3rd at the moment. Chris Rigby 4th. Dean 5th at the moment. What can Dean do? On to lap number 6 out of 8 then, so 3 laps to go. It's going to be all or nothing. Dean's going to have to literally push really tooth and nail to try and catch up to Chris Rigby, and then hopefully try and pray that Panos makes a mistake. I don't think Panos will make a mistake though. I don't think he will. He's been around for a long time. Clicks up the dirt though. Got to be very careful. The Greek trying to push on for his lost how many titles he's actually won in Eldar Sim, but Jamie still leads the race then from Finley then. Panos is still there in 3rd. Chris is still in 4th. Dean trying to push on. Dean's there. He knows Chris has gone a bit wide into the dirt. The beach is that way down the hill, mate, if you want to go and dig up some sandcastles. But he's not, because he's got to defend from Dean at the moment. But beautiful Croatian sunset for the final round of the Volkswagen Scirocco's, as Chris gets under attack from Jamie. But not Jamie, Dean rather, because Jamie's leading the race. See, even I'm losing the plot. But Dean Atkinson there, trying to get away from, trying to catch up to Chris Rigby, as Chris is trying to do exactly what he needs to do. Chris has got a bit of an issue there. Panos is still there in third place. Onto the penultimate lap we go in a moment. And Jamie's leading the race then. He's going to get another victory, bar any stewards' inquiries, but it's going to be very interesting. Finley second. Dean Atkinson now up into fourth then. Onto the penultimate lap. This is going to go to the insane limit. Panos is still third. Panos is probably thinking, why are you fourth? But he's now fifth because Chris gets back on that attack. Dean's going to try and get the move done. He does. He gets there from Chris. Ishmael in, of course, 6th. Oscar 7th. Nick 8th. Neil Smale 9th at the moment. But I tell you what, Jamie is pushing on. He's going to try and get another victory. Panos is there. He's trying to get... He knows what he's got to do. He's got to try and push away from Dean Atkinson. He can't afford to go in the wall. He cannot afford to go in the wall, I'll tell you that now. It's getting very close between Dean and Chris this time round as well. It's nail biting. The crews and the teams and family members are going to be probably biting their nails thinking, what if? You know, but Panos is there, still in third. Could be very close. It could be a nail-biting end to the season. Dean still in fourth at the moment. Chris 5th. Ishmael 6th. Oscar 7th. Nick in 8th. Neil Smale 9th at the moment. But Jamie about to go on to the final lap of the final race of the season. And Panos is there. He's trying to catch up to Finley. But Dean Atkinson is going to try and push. He's on the super softs. Panos is on the soft, so it could be quite tense going into the final lap. But this is exactly how the season's been panning out. The season has been absolutely tooth and nail. But I tell you what, Jamie's about to take another victory. Had an outside chance of trying to win the title, but I don't know whether that's going to be good enough with Finley second at the moment. Dean's still in fourth at the moment because Panos is still third. Could be close. It could be a couple of points in it. This is probably going to be nail biting. Oscar still 7th at the moment with Nick in 8th then, trying to chase him down, but don't know how quick he's going to chase him down for. But Neil Smale in 9th then, trying to push on. Jamie still there, but what is happening between... Panos is trying to push on. He's trying to catch up to Finley. Can't afford to make a mistake. This is going to be very close, but you know, it's all or nothing now. It is all or nothing to see who's going to take the title. But I'll tell you what, it is going to be absolutely insane. But Panos is there in the third at the moment. It could be very interesting come the final results, obviously, by any stewards incidences that the stewards need to look at. But at the moment, Jamie is going to be taking a fastest lap and leading the race as well as another third victory of the season. He's going to be happy with that. Not too sure what that means for his championship, but he will be delighted with that. So he takes a well-deserved victory with Finley in, of course, second. Panos though, however, not too sure what that means for the championship. But Dean Atkinson flashes the lights in fourth. He may take the title. Chris Rigby in fifth though. Ishmael in sixth. Oscar in seventh. Nick eighth. After a bit of argy-bargy moments, but Neil Smale in probably what might be his final race of the season in ninth place. But I tell you what, it has been a bit of a topsy-turvy, and yet again everyone had a bit of a clean race there, so it seems to be very interesting indeed. But Jamie takes another third victory, gets the fastest lap as well as leading the race, so gets the maximum points there. But it sounds like Dean could have the championship by 1 point, but it all depends though with the stewards, etc. But it could be close, it could be 1 point, and Dean could have the championship. Oh, that's nail biting. I tell you what, close as you like. Jamie gets the race victory, the final race victory of the season, followed by Finley, followed by Panos, Dean in 4th, Chris Rigby 5th, Ishmael 6th, Oscar 7th, Nick 8th, Neil Smale in 9th. Jamie with the fastest lap on lap number 4 with a 1:45.681. I tell you what, the season has been absolutely insane. Not too sure exactly what's going to happen next season, but I tell you what, it has been an absolute stellar season. I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to happen soon. Not too sure, but keep an eye out on the Eldar Sim Facebook page for the for all the action, see exactly what's going to be happening. Not too sure whether it's going to be GT Sport or GT Gran Turismo 7. It all depends on obviously what is going to be there, but wherever it is, I will be there, and I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. It has been a nail biting end to the season, and I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see what the future brings onto pastures new, and who knows exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to catch my breath and go and chill out, but I'll tell you what guys, I've been Hoppers for Eldar Sim Racing. I hope you've really enjoyed this season. I will be back for a relive of round number 7 that we missed last week during the week, and you will get to see that. But I hope whatever series you guys join, whether it's on here or on GT7, I will see you then. Until now, I will thank you so much for allowing me to commentate as per usual guys. It has been a pleasure. It is a bit emotional, but if the championship has gone to Dean Atkinson by 1 point, then we're in for a nail biter as per usual. Until then guys, take care, enjoy the off-season break, and if you have won the championship, try not to party too hard. Until then guys, take care. Ta-ra.